What's up guys, this is Aaron from GearUP and welcome to another episode. I hope you're doing okay and staying out of trouble in this day and age. Today, we're going to be talking about something different for this channel, at least a little bit of a change of pace. We're going to be talking about cell phones now, the Motorola G7 Power in this case. And for some of you more astute viewers, you'll probably be like, Aaron, this thing is 1 year old. What are you talking about this for? Well, there's a reason behind this madness. The first reason is I like this phone. It's a really good mid-range phone. Number two, well, we're gonna have to find out more after these messages. I'm gonna tell you why. Let's cut to it. Alright guys, before we hit the review, let's talk background and why we're doing this. Well, it just makes sense to diversify. GearUP is all about doing tech reviews for consumers, indoors, outdoors, whatever, and I thought, what's the biggest digital part of our lives? Our phones. It's logical. But I also wanted to focus on low to mid-range devices because there are a couple of reasons to that logic. First one of all is in the year 2018 and 19, less people like you and me have upgraded to $1,000 phones. They're upgraded to the top of the line ones because they're so expensive. So less and less people are really focusing on high-end phones. And number two is there's a technological parity among all devices now that we're all so close together. There's really no reason for us to upgrade unless it's a lower end phone. And so the other part is a lot of manufacturers are learning from the mistakes, and to get their market share back, they're putting and adding a lot of that tech stuff from the high-end phones into their mid-range to low-end phones. And it's the best time than ever in the year 2020 and beyond. I see phones in the mid-range looking awesomer and just being amazing again. So I wanted to focus on that. And secondly, I'm also cheap. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the review today. Please be nice and kind and gentle because this is my first review, okay? And consider this a warm-up because I'm working up to the next Moto that's coming out, the Moto G Power and Stylus. Those are going to be awesome. We're going to be talking about that next. But I wanted to start with the G7 Power because it's a good baseline. And let's head on with the review. Alright guys, it's time to take a closer look at the Moto G7 Power. And earlier I mentioned that this thing is a mid-range device, at least back in the year 2019. But today, at $220, I think it even is knocking on the low end of the range, from mid to low end of the range. But that's not to say that this device is low end, cheap spec, and slow or whatever. And we'll talk about it, the pluses and the minuses later on about this one. Running this device is a mid-range Snapdragon 632 with 3 gigs of RAM, and it's perfectly fine on the day-to-day use as you're scrolling around. It is perfectly fine. You don't feel any stuttering unless you're running a memory-intensive app or lots of tabs open. But as you can see, the scrolling is pretty decent. You see the stutter is only because of the load times, but once it's loaded or preloaded, it's pretty smooth. Running the graphics or the screen itself is an Adreno 506 chip that is perfectly fine for low to mid-range games. So you gotta taper your expectations. You can't expect to play high-end games on this one. The screen is 6.2 inches across. It is a 720p LCD panel, and right off the bat you might be turned off by those two terms, but hear me out here. The screen is perfectly fine at 720p. Sure, it's not 1080, it's not Ultra HD or QHD or anything like that, but for this application it is just right. It is battery saving for a reason, but the screen itself is great. The colors are punchy, as you can see. It pushes enough nits and brightness, and at 279 ppi, it is perfectly fine that your eye and retina can resolve, and it's nice and sharp even reading text. Sure, granted the LCD is a little bit aggressive at night with its backlighting, and the blacks kind of suck, obviously, but in bright daylight, it is perfectly fine. Alright, let's look at the back of the phone, shall we? And the only color that's available is this blue for the G7 Power, unlike the regular G7. So you're kind of stuck for choice right there. As you can see, the camera layout is super old school. One single lens, one single LED flash. The camera though is a 12 megapixel shooter with an f2.0 aperture, and the front is an 8 megapixel with an f2.2. Pretty decent. We'll look at the quality of the photos and videos later on. Here in the Motorola logo is actually also the fingerprint sensor, which is really great. I like this layout. Since the early days of the Moto X, they had an indented logo here. It actually doubles as a nice grip where you can hold your phone and just position itself. So it's a really nice thing, and you can use this to swipe your notification bar as well, like this. See, you can set it up or turn it off. It's up to you. But that's the design of the back. It's really shiny and slippery, and that's one thing I want to point out. You probably want to slap a case on this right away. It's super slippery, and I'm not sure about the durability of this once it hits the ground, but it's plastic though, so you don't have to worry about it shattering. But as it is a fingerprint slash smudge magnet. Now, looking around the phone, starting at the top, we have a 3.5mm audio jack, which is really nice to see. Here is a microphone port, which is the first one and the second one out of the two, right at the bottom, right next to a USB-C charging port. That's awesome. Over on the left is a SIM card tray shared with a micro USB tray as well. On the right side is the volume toggle buttons and a power button. They are really kind of flush to match the flush design, but I wish they were more prominent, or at least some kind of more grip to their texture. There is a little bit of a knurl to the power button, but you just really can't feel it unless you really look at it. Looking from the side here, I'm not sure if you can see it from this angle, but the camera bump does stick out from the body about 0.5 millimeter. As opposed to other front cameras that are on the corners, this one's almost at the center line of the camera, so it makes it easier to compose your videos and your photographs as well. In terms of internal storage, this has 32 gigs on board. They don't offer a higher range one, and already about half of it on the device is used by the OS, so you have about 18 gigs left for storage, which isn't much in today's day and age. But cool thing is you can expand it with my micro SD card up to 512 gigs into the slot right here that's shared by the SIM card as well. The main reason why this is called the G7 Power is because of its battery. It is a humongous 5000 milliamp battery pack, guys. And in the box too, there's a turbocharger, which for 20 minutes will give you 9 hours of talk time. And also when you charge it from 0, this thing can charge the whole thing from 0 to 100 in 2 hours, which is amazing for such a large battery pack. This phone also comes unlocked straight out of the box, so you can use it with any carrier. It also has Band 71, which is perfect for rural T-Mobile users. Hey guys, I need your help. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel by clicking the subscribe button down below. Yes, this little button right here. You know you want to click it. And turn on the bell notification while you're at it too, so you get notified when new videos come out every Friday. Unless, of course, I die or get pulled over for speeding along the way. But thank you so much for your help in advance. This helps me grow the channel and, more importantly, bring you more videos like this to watch. Thank you so much, guys. Onward with the program. Alright guys, it's time to talk about the negatives that I found with the G7 Power, and the first one of all is the LCD backlighting. This thing really suffers outdoors. It's just nigh unusable if you're reading or reviewing photos outside. Forget about it. Indoors, perfectly fine, but outdoors, this is not a reliable companion. Now, granted, I have to say that this is not a unique problem to the G7 Power. Other phones struggle with outdoors, bright sunlight situations, but I thought that this is important enough for you to know. Now, any phone that looks like this, straight out of the box will elicit some kind of, ooh, you're so nice. But 1 minute later, it's full of fingerprints. This phone, I do not like that. Just like a lot of phones out there. It's a fingerprint magnet, it's smudgy, and it is slippery. The moment you take it out, you admire it for a few minutes, and then you think, I need a case for this, and there goes the design that the designers intended it. So come on guys, design phones that are grippy but look nice at the same time. There's got to be a way to do it. I wish they'd gone back to the Motorola customizer where you can have wood and bamboo and all that kind of stuff and leather. That would have been awesome. I miss those days. So for some of you who care about these things, this phone does not have NFC. Some of you eagle-eyed viewers may notice the navigation buttons at the bottom of the screen here are from Android 9. And so you're wondering, where's Android 10? That thing has been out for a few months now. Is Motorola planning to update it? Actually, no, there's no timeline for this. And that's one of my bigger problems with Motorola in general, is that their update cycles just do suck. They have no timeline or solid timelines for updating security updates or making any kind of OS updates for you as a user. So if you're buying into the brand, that's something you have to be aware of. But if you don't really care, forget what I just said. Alright guys, let's talk about some of the top things that I liked about the G7 Power. And at the end of the day, it was a combination of low price, good performance, good rear camera, stock or almost stock Android OS experience, and a spectacular battery life. Speaking of battery, this is where the G7 earns its power moniker. That 5000 mAh battery cell in the back is a beast. You can try killing it, but it won't die. I tested this over 2 to 3 days of regular use, like browsing phone calls and such like that, and by the evening of the third day, I still had 25% power left. That's ridiculous. I haven't heard of this since flip phones. It's crazy. I also did a video loop test and it died after 16 hours. Maximum brightness, mid volume, 16 bloody hours. That even beats the Samsung S20 for crying out loud. So if there was one reason for you to buy this phone, it would be for the insane battery life. That's just amazing. You can't kill it. It's like the Energizer Bunny. One reason why I like the G7 Power and almost every other Motorola phone out there is their almost stock Android experience. That means it's lightweight, unclunkered, if that's a word, unfeathered by unnecessary UI changes or skins that the manufacturers might decide to slap on. The only thing that Motorola has in there is Moto Action, and we've all heard of it. They've been the pioneers of it, and they're still one of the best out there. Chop chop to turn on your flashlight, twist to launch your camera app. Those happen instantaneously and it still works awesomely. I love those. Now, earlier we mentioned that this device runs on a Snapdragon 632. It is a mid-ranger, it is power efficient, and it's also from 2019, which means, and this is the advantage I think that this thing has over the future G8, is that the G7 Power is already rooted. So AOSP exists, Lineage OS also exists for it, and so if that's your kind of thing, this is the device to get and consider. It is cheap for $220 and rootable. One of the main considerations when choosing a smartphone is probably the camera, and in the G7 Power's case, it is actually a pretty decent performer. The rear camera is strong, it captures a lot of detail, especially in bright daylight. It does suffer in low light though, and in the daylight, the HDR processing is very controlled. It captures enough detail to make it Instagrammable and all that kind of stuff. You can make prints, small prints with it, and it's pretty fine. I compared this next to my Pixel 2 XL. You can look at some of the samples of the pictures and the videos, and it does capture 4K 30 frames per second, and so that's not bad. But you compare these two and you can be your own judge right here. However, if you're using the front camera, I would suggest that you turn off portrait mode because this thing cannot discern hair with the bokeh background. It's just horrible at that. So just do yourself a favor and turn that off and never use it again. I also like the fingerprint sensor. It is quick to respond and it's in the right location, right where your finger rests as you pick up your phone. So it's always there, ready to go. Well, there you have it, guys. That was my virgin cell phone review for this channel for the Motorola G7 Power. And I give it a thumbs up because it manages to combine or have a balance of low cost, good performance, good camera, and a crazy beast mode of a battery and just stock experience or stock Android experience. And I'm guessing the price would drop from $220 to under $200 when the new model comes out. And this thing is rootable. So if this is your cup of tea, all these things or any of these, if you want a burner phone or if you want a daily driver, this phone is a good place to start. You can also wait for the G8, or as in the US would be called the G. But if you want a phone now, this would be the thing to get. So guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this episode as much as I enjoyed creating it. This is not the most polished cell phone review out there, I can admit. This is not MKBHD or Unbox Therapy, but I promise to get better over time. In the meantime, there are a couple ways that you can support this channel to help it grow, and more importantly, to bring you more content like this to watch. Visit my Patreon page down below. There are a couple ways to connect and support it. And if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. Yeah, mash that button, do your civil duty and press that button. Thank you very much in advance. And also, remember the thumbs up if you like this video. And thumbs down. Thumbs down. If you're the squirrel that raided my bird feeder yesterday, I set it up for the birds and Mr. Squirrel, you just came by, or Miss Squirrel, you just came by and raided the food. I don't approve of your behavior. It's not very nice. Now, imagine this scenario if I ordered food in a restaurant and the food comes and the people from the next booth decides to walk over and sit down and eat our food. It's social disorder right there. It's not very nice, is it? So Mr. Squirrel, listen to that, and this is for you. Thumbs down for your behavior. Leave it for the birds. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. I love y'all. I hope you guys do great and have a great week. Remember to do something nice for somebody. Always show some love in this world. We need it more than ever. But I'll catch you on the next episode. Remember to be good. God bless. Peace.